gorgeous girl. Well done, yeah. She never rolled and she's never sat up. Even assisted, she finds that quite difficult. I just didn't want to let go of her. I didn't want to leave her. I had a really massive wobble before we went. Do you want Hallie to come out?
No.
Why do you want Hallie in your den?
Because I love Hallie.
Get you some toys, Hallie, don't worry. I did find it really hard being a working mum with one kid, and with two kids, I just find like it really scares me, if I'm totally honest. Yeah, look at that.
I love to spin my hoop.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another vlog. I hope you're all doing really, really well. You've joined me and Hallie during playtime. She's just woken up from her nap and she's in a really good mood. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna vlog. I've tried to start this vlog maybe 3 or 4 times, but she, bless her, has been yeah, she's been a little bit under the weather. She's been, you know, teething and snotty and tummy ache, and like there's just been like one thing after another. So she's just needed me, and she's just needed me to be full on mum mode, cuddling with her. Like there was no way that I was gonna try and vlog as well. Like all I wanted to do is like comfort her and be with her and stuff. So yeah, she's a little bit better after that last nap, which is a good thing. And actually during that nap time, it was a good nap. It was like an hour and 20 minutes or something. And I actually filmed a podcast recording, which is very exciting. I don't do very many podcasts. And I actually also filmed this podcast like years ago. Like it must have been 3 years ago, because George was about Hallie's age, I think, when I filmed it. Sorry, recorded it, not filmed. That's a different thing. That's YouTube. Podcasts are different. So I did a podcast with Lottie, who most of you will know. On Instagram, she's known as A Little Bit of Lottie. And then she also does her podcast, which is Tits, Tums, and All Things Mum, which I thought was such a great title. That alone, I was like, yes. She's just a really down-to-earth, normal person that I just love talking to. So yeah, it was a really great little record and I really enjoyed it. We talked about loads of stuff. So if you are, you know, a podcast lover like I am, I love podcasts so much, then definitely give it a listen if you're interested. And I think it comes out, she said, when we said 2 weeks from today, which I guess when you see this it'll be Tuesday, so maybe in like a week and a half. But yeah, go and give her a little follow over on Tits, Tums and All Things Mums. I also know she's nominated for a Glow Mama award for the podcast, so if you wanted to give her a little vote, then that would be amazing too. I know I'll be voting for her. So yeah, that was a lovely little morning while Hallie napped. Hallie napped on time, stayed asleep the whole record, which was an absolute miracle, and she's woke up in a really good mood. So, winner all round. I haven't actually spoken to you guys since we got back from our little trip. So we went to France for 36 hours, no kids. It was really lovely, and you know what, it was so nice to just be us and just talk to each other as husband and wife, as like just the people rather than the mum and the dad. I feel like we really got into the whole, I don't know, just like mundanity of everyday life, and it was just really nice to have that little reset, and came back like larger than life, so excited to see the kids. Like we literally spent one night away from them, but we were so ready to come and see them. I was so like, I remember the day before we went, also the night that we went, because we left here for our early morning flight in the middle of the night. Like it was like 4 a.m. when we left, or maybe earlier, 3 a.m. when we left our house to go for the flight. I'd done the night feed with Hallie. I just didn't want to let go of her. I didn't want to leave her. I had a really massive wobble before we went, and I was feeling really anxious about it. Like really anxious actually. Like probably one of the most anxious I've been about anything since having the kids, and I've had my moments. But actually going and doing that alone with Ash, and then my you know, the kids were here with my mum, and my mum is the most capable nan in the world. Like they absolutely adore her. George is besotted with my mum. Like when she's here, I don't get a look in. Apparently it wasn't too chaotic and whatever, and I came home and my mum sort of updated me on everything and told me about their days, and apparently they had the best time ever. My mum took them out to like gymnastics and soft play and all the things that we would normally do, and apparently they had the best time. So I obviously didn't need to worry about anything, and I had a great time as well. But yeah, it really hit me, and it's just funny, like I was never really an anxious person before becoming a mum, and since becoming a mum I've just become incrementally more anxious and more, you know, worrisome and whatever. I think it's fairly normal, but yeah, it's just not something that I'd experienced before, I guess. I know I'm not alone in feeling like that, but I definitely want to do some more stuff sort of, you know, for us and for me, and like actually not feel guilty about it or anxious, and put trust in other people. So I feel like I've learned something over that weekend, definitely. And then yeah, we got back on the Saturday and then had the whole Sunday together, which was really nice. And I just feel really refreshed and like so glad that we did that. Yeah, really, really glad. It was a really positive thing. And yeah, it just feels like I've just hit that reset button and I'm back to it with a different mindset, which is nice. It's a nice place to be. Baby girl is having loads of fun in her play gym. I've attached these ribbons to it and she keeps like trying to grab them, bless her. So that's a winner. That's a winner. She's probably staring at the camera. I'm trying to hide you, baby girl. You just want to be on show, don't you? Beautiful. Are you going to roll over? Are you going to roll over for me? Are you going to roll? Anna, you can do it. You can do it. Pull, 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 pull. Go, 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 go. Almost, almost. Oh no, it's okay. So I know I've mentioned it before and I've been speaking a little bit about it on Instagram, but Hallie has not really been hitting like the milestones that I would have expected just from based on like my, you know, having a baby first time round, my first time experience. She's just not hitting the same milestones at the same time, and you know, I was always sort of in the mindset of like, I know she'll get there eventually, and like every baby's different and there's probably nothing to be worried about, but I did want to just explore it just to make sure that there isn't anything underlying, or there's not anything that I can do maybe to help her along. I think probably I got myself a little bit scared when I started Googling. It was probably the worst thing I could possibly do, because she's on the later end of like the general scale of things. Like she's never rolled and she's never sat up. Even assisted, she finds that quite difficult, and weaning's not going particularly well either. I mentioned that in a few vlogs ago and I had loads of comments and loads of like DMs and stuff. Is that right? Saying that their babies were very similar and they weren't really sure what to do, and then other people saying their babies like that are now like 2 or 3 were like, you know, late developers or like on the later like scale of things. And like some people were saying that their little ones didn't walk until like 18 months, 2 years even, sometimes 23 months I think someone said. There was quite a lot of that, but now they're absolutely thriving and they can't like stop running around, and it's crazy, isn't it? Like there really is a whole massive spectrum of like when some babies do things and when other babies do things, and your instant thing is to worry, especially when you've had a baby that's done everything like quite early and then you have a baby that doesn't do those things at the same time. So you're like, oh gosh, like what is this? Like, is this something serious or is it not, or is it just me like overthinking it? And so we actually ended up going to a chiropractor. The reason I went to the chiropractor is because that specific chiropractor helped us a lot with Hallie when she was really stiff. When she was first born, she had a really fast delivery, so there was like some issues with like just general, like her whole, like she was just stiff as hell, like really, really stiff, and would like often jolt back, and she was quite uncomfortable quite a lot of the time, and the chiropractor really helped us with that, and I really just loved her like as a person. She was just like a really lovely lady. If you're local to Saffron Walden in Essex, I would highly recommend Saffron Walden Chiropractic Clinic if you are pregnant or if you have a baby that might like benefit from it. I know that some people have said to me in the comments and things like, do your research on chiropractors and don't always just take your baby to a chiropractor. Like there are some, you know, side effects and things like that, or some concerns from some studies and things. I'm not telling anyone that you have to go to a chiropractor. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that she helped us. So if you are local to Saffron Walden in Essex and you are in need of a chiropractor and want a chiropractor and have done all your research on that kind of stuff, Jo is amazing as a person and as a chiropractor. That's what I wanted to say. But we have since then gone back to her. Like obviously I haven't been to her since maybe October time, I think, because Hallie was totally fine and she was like, right, she doesn't need to come back anymore, and she, you know, she was really great. And yeah, we ended up going back to Jo because I wasn't sure whether it was something that a chiropractor would be able to help with or if it was more something that physio might be able to help with, etc. And yeah, she was really great, and she basically said that she has had quite a lot of babies that are similar to Hallie in development wise and all that kind of stuff. And it turns out she has really hypermobile joints, which isn't something that I was aware of. However, I've been recently going to physio for my hip. I've just got some like dodgy leg hip bones from pregnancy, and the increased like hormone relaxing basically like shifted my bones around and to a point where it just quite stiff and quite hurt, like it hurts quite a lot when I do impact exercise or kind of put any real strain on it. If I do squats, things like that, it's quite painful for me. So I've been going to the physio for some exercises recently, and he said that my hips are really hypermobile, which is interesting because that's what the chiropractor said about Hallie's joints. Pretty much all of her joints, other than her legs, like her bottom legs, so basically her knees like lock in place, but everywhere else her hips are really hypermobile. So imagine this is someone's joint, that's how it should normally go, and then you build up the muscle around it, and then you're able to you know, use that muscle and those joints to support the action of rolling or sitting up or whatever it might be. Hallie's joints are like this. So it's really difficult and wobbly and difficult to build up that muscle around, you know, her core and like to sit up and obviously eventually to crawl and walk and things like that. It will be quite difficult for her. She'll probably end up being late to most of those milestones. Like she probably won't walk for a little while and things like that, just because her joints are really hypermobile. What I didn't know when I heard all of that, I was like, wow, okay, this is like, you know, big deal. Is there anything that I can do and blah blah. There are exercises you can do and to support like the build up of that muscle to help those actions come along, but what I didn't know is it's really common. So about 25% of babies in the UK have hypermobility in their joints, and I did not know that. So it's crazy. I've actually been mentioning it on Instagram and stuff, and so many people said the exact same thing. Basically their little ones had hypermobility, and it meant that they were just later to those milestones. Most people were saying that now they're like 2 or whatever, and they're like running around like maniacs and can't stop them. For us, I think we're going to stick with the chiropractor and maybe go to the physio as well to see if we can get some exercises for her to help build up that muscle, to help you know, get her to those milestones when she's ready. But other than that, I'm going to try and keep chill about it as much as possible, and not get too anxious and not overthink it and not be Dr. Google, and sort of just go from there. But it's just crazy because yeah, like George was completely the opposite. Just on one, like constantly, like would be rolling around at like 3-4 months, sat up, you know, by the time he was like 5-6 months unassisted, and then he walked by the time he was 1. That's not particularly early, but it's not late either. And then literally as soon as he could walk, he was running. He was like, I mean, he would fall over a lot, but now, yeah, he's like the most active, like climber, jumper, like, yeah, he's a boisterous boy. Like, let's not beat around the bush. He really is. So it's just crazy. Like we're in for a different kind of baby and toddler stage, I think, with Hallie, and that's obviously fine. It's just he's just going to need a little bit more support, I think, with hitting those milestones. So yeah, since going there, we've been doing a lot of exercises to help her. So with her hands, especially her thumbs, actually tuck in like this, like quite a lot of the time, which is really normal for newborns. But when it comes to 6-month-olds and 7-month-olds, actually, that shouldn't be like the standard state of her hands. She can move them like that, but she doesn't do it often enough. And her thumbs are so long. I'll show you them in a minute. She does use them, but she needs, I think she needs a lot of practice. And I think she might struggle with like holding a pen and things like that when she's a little bit older, when she's like a toddler and going to school and things. But there's obviously exercises you can do and therapies and things that you can kind of do to help that. That's where we are with it at the moment. I'm going to not look too much more into it, and I'm going to just take the advice from the chiropractor and the physio. Hello. Yeah, look, she's rolling. Good girl. I think that was an accident, but you did it. Well done. Oh my gosh. She was just like really flinging herself. I think the thing is, alright, you don't like it. 1 second, baby. 1 second, I'll sort you out. I think, to be honest, it's just going to be about giving her the space to do what she needs to do, build up the muscle, giving her the complete like flexibility of the movement, and yeah, just sort of going from there, basically. Yeah, I mean, I'm more than happy to hear anyone's advice or any exercises that you can recommend to, you know, help her out. But other than that, she's, you know, she's generally happy. She is, you know, thriving. Like I say, weaning's not going very well. But, again, we will get there in our own time. And darling, look at you. Oh, my love. But yeah, other than weaning, we need to get that sorted as well, which could also be related to the fact that she's not sat up yet, could be related to the tongue tie thing. We're just going to sort of look into it, and I will, you know, keep you posted on all that jazz. I feel like there are so many options and it can get really overwhelming. So I'm just going to try and take like one little thing at a time. I'm more than happy to take any sort of advice or anything like that and share anything that I come across if it's going to help someone. But I think everyone's situation is so different. Everyone's little one's so different. Their medical history and, you know, all your little bones and your joints are all different, aren't they? So something that's going to work for us, it might not necessarily work for you, but if it wasn't for people that I've spoken to on Instagram and YouTube and stuff, I wouldn't have known necessarily about hypermobility. I wouldn't have known necessarily about physios. So yeah, I'm really grateful for anyone that has reached out and given me a little message. I really do appreciate it. By the way, her teeth, oh my goodness, they are coming out in full force. Look at those. Give me a smile. Look at those teeth. We've got two there and lots of little pegs coming through. Haven't you, my gorgeous girl? Well done, yeah. So yeah, cutting those teeth was a fun experience for everyone involved. But yeah, we're going to do some, oh, hello. We're going to do some of Hallie's little exercises and chill out on the mat and have a little bit of playtime. And then I think we're going to catch up with you in a bit. Do you want Hallie to come out?
No,
Why do you want Hallie in your den?
because I love Harry.
Oh, so kind. I think Hallie's happy in there.
I can't see my movie.
Okay, you both having fun? Having fun, Hallie? Do you like it in there? Oh, no, thank you. Hey, how about we don't just drag Hallie around by her legs? Let's not do that. You can climb in there, you go. And I'll close this up.
No, that's my slide.
Oh, it's your slide. Okay, well, make sure you don't slide on top of your sister. I'll pop it there for a second and I'll move Hallie and then maybe you can have a go on your slide, yeah? God. Hey, my love. Oh, good girl. Look at that. And you some toys, Hallie, don't worry. What's this? There you go. What does that look like? Well done. Hello guys, I hope you're doing okay. It's the next day and it's literally, what is the time? 4 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock and I've just actually been able to pick up the vlogging camera without feeling like I'd just be too overwhelmed to do it. It's just been a bit of a day. So it's Friday today, which is probably my favourite day of the week actually. Well, no, favourite weekday of the week. We go to gymnastics in the morning and then we have a usually like a cosy afternoon where Hallie's napping. But today's been really good because Ash has been back as well. So it meant that I could go to gymnastics with George this morning, just me and him, and had a proper like, we ran around a bit and it was just a load of fun. Like I feel like when I'm with Hallie, I've got her in the baby carrier normally and I'm obviously a little bit more restricted as to, like the activities I can do and stuff, and it was just really nice and I felt like I could obviously like run around with George a bit, but I also had like the chance to chat to some other mums and like it was just quite nice. So yeah, that's what we did this morning. I've been up since 5-ish with both of the kids, but you know what, it's actually been a really nice day. It's just been a bit full on, but like I say, Ash has been home. He's just popped out to do a bit of a food shop, which again is a lovely little treat. I don't have to go and do that with the kids, and the house isn't in too much of a state. Like there's some washing on the table, but you know, I'm not going to show you the living room just yet because that's a bit of a mess. Magna tiles everywhere. The like cushion things, I don't know what they're called, like the sofa cushion things that we move around for George. He's been using that as like a den and like hiding and using it as a slide and stuff. But yeah, the living room's a bit of carnage, but it's not too bad. But yeah, everyone's in an alright mood today. I feel like everyone's had an appropriate amount of attention. Everyone's had some good one-on-one time with each parent and it just kind of feels like a good little balance. Obviously most days aren't like that, so when you get a nice little bonus day of you know, parenting together, it's really, really handy. And honestly, for me, it actually, since I've had 2 kids, it actually feels like when I go out with 1 kid, it's like I have no kids. It's so easy, like, in comparison to going out with both. Obviously, because you have just one person to focus on. If they want your attention there and then, they get it, and it's just like so much easier. So yeah, I love going out with George when it's just me and him. I like going out with Hallie when it's just me and her. Obviously, like, she doesn't really know what's going on, but he really appreciates it when it's just the 2 of us. But yeah, I've just come in here with Hallie into the kitchen, having a little bit of a roll, a little bit of a play, and George is chilling and watching a little bit of TV and playing on his slide that he's made whilst Ash has gone out. And yeah, I thought I'd just actually pick up the camera because I was going to vlog today, but obviously, yeah, like I say, it's 4 o'clock and I've only just actually picked up the camera. I think I vlogged like first thing this morning, it might have been like 6 o'clock, and I was going to start from there, and then it was just one thing after another, with one of them was being sick, the other one was SHITing their pants. It was all go, 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 and you know what, I was like, this is not suitable for the internet. All in all, we've had a really good day, and yeah, it's the weekend now, which is mad. I think what I'm gonna do is pick you guys up on Monday and we can have a proper little catch up. And yeah, I've actually also arranged my first keeping in touch day with work for Tuesday. So I think you're going to see this on Wednesday. So on Tuesday I'm going in to London for my first keeping in touch day since being on maternity leave. I've been on maternity leave since June. Or maybe like the end of May, because I had like some annual leave to take, so I took some annual leave before my maternity leave. Hallie wasn't born until the 2nd of July, so yeah, I've had like a good chunk of my maternity leave already, and I've got some like annual leave to pop on the end of my mat leave as well. I'm not actually due to go back until like, well, autumn time. It's a little bit open-ended, and to be honest, like, I've only just organised Hallie's nursery placement and stuff, so her place is not actually secured until the 7th of October, which is much later than I expected to be going back to work. So I obviously need to have that conversation, and just have like the conversation about where I want, like, what my position is and like what I'd like to do in terms of going back to work, how many days, all that jazz. So yeah, all that stuff is a really nerve-wracking thing. Like, even though I'm really close to my manager and I absolutely love her, it's just such a scary thought just to go back to work. Like, I don't know if anyone else is in this situation, but like, I find it really overwhelming just being a mum, like, full stop. Being a mum at home. George is at nursery half of the week anyway, and I'm at home with Hallie, and I'm just trying to do a little bit of content and keep the house like afloat. And I already find that overwhelming, with obviously everything that she might need, everything that he needs. Like, you know, kids are unpredictable, and it's just a tricky, I don't know, I just find it's a tricky little balance already. Add on going back to work, like, I don't know how that's gonna work. I genuinely don't, because I know everyone does it. Like, working mums do that. Working mums of multiple kids do that. Like, it's not unheard of, but wow, like, I find it really hard when I was doing that with just George, when I was pregnant, and before that I found being a working mum really overwhelming. I love that we say working mum, like it's this big thing. Like, a working dad isn't a phrase, but then we say working mum, and it is. But then again, like, let's face it, I mean, this is a massive generalisation, and it's the case in my like family, in my situation, and I'm sure it's the case in a lot of others. But normally, not always, but normally, when the mum and dad work, if you're in that setup, obviously not everyone is in that setup, but say you and your husband, you and your partner both work, and you both get up and go out of the house in the morning, normally 9 times out of 10 it is the bloke gets up, gets himself ready, goes and has a wash and sorts himself out and sorts his lunch and then leaves. That's like my setup. He doesn't, Ash doesn't have to think about the kids and get them ready and get them sorted, think about their nursery bags and sort them and sort out the childcare ever. Like, not because he's a bad dad, it's just not his job, it's my job. And it kind of felt like that, obviously, when he was in the army and he wasn't here. Like, it had to be my job because I was the only one here. But now it's like, if I do go back to work, we're gonna have to really reevaluate that, I think, because I don't think, I'm sure it's the case for a lot of women, I know it's the case for a lot of women, if you do end up going back to work, you do all of the childcare, all of the mental load, the household, the kids, the childcare, and then you go off to work as well. So it's like you've got 2 full-time jobs. Like, that is how it felt to me when obviously Ash was in the army, and then when George was at nursery, and say if he was sick, I would always have to take a day off because Ash wasn't here, he was out of the country, or he was, you know, wherever he might have been. So I think now that, you know, he's in a civvy job and whatever, it's going to be a little bit different, which is obviously positive, but I just don't know how it's going to look. And I'm also one of them people that I hate to like relinquish control anyway, so I moan about all these things, but then I don't ask for help. I moan about all these things and I don't know how to share the load, just because I just don't know, like it's a control thing, I know it is. But anyway, that's my situation. These are the things that I'm worrying about. We've had a little chat together and we kind of know where we stand with, you know, going back to work and childcare and costs and all that kind of stuff, which I'll update you guys on, obviously, once I've had like the conversation and once I know the outcome of the meeting. But yeah, it's sort of just one of those. It's a bit daunting because it's just another change. Like you just get used to your setup and then things change again, and it's just, you know, it's just a lot, isn't it? But I know I'm not alone in that. Everyone's got to weigh up their situation and figure out what they want to do, whether they want to go back to work, whether they don't want to go back, whether they go back part-time or full-time, and weigh up all the costs of childcare, and every situation's so different. And I, honestly, you ask me one day, I think one thing. You ask me the next day, I think a different thing, don't I? And everywhere in between, it's just like, yeah, God knows. I genuinely don't know what I want. I don't know, Hallie. I don't know. It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. Guys, hope you're doing okay. I thought I'd chat to you while I'm doing the washing, so I'm just going to pop some of George's washing away and sort out his room a little bit. I've just sorted the downstairs a little bit because I had my nephew around this morning. I was looking after him, so obviously, yeah, toys were all out and stuff. I thought I'd reset whilst Hallie's having her nap. I feel like we had a really decent weekend because George and I did quite a lot of stuff on our own. Like, we went out of the house and did some stuff, and it was really nice to just spend like that one-on-one time with him. It's so needed, isn't it? And they really appreciate it. And I feel like he's a completely different kid when he gets that time with me. Like, he's so well behaved, he listens, he's obviously got like my full attention, which, yeah, like I definitely see like a behavioural difference in him when he has that, which is a really nice thing. So yeah, we did gymnastics, then we did football, and then on the Sunday we went to soft play. Like, all of those activities we did just one-on-one, which was just really nice. And so Hallie and Ash have had a load of one-on-one time, and he's been like doing her exercises and stuff that I was mentioning a couple of days ago, like that the physio and the chiropractor have recommended to us, for like her hands, the grabbing activities. He's been doing like the sitting and the rolling activities with her, and I feel like it's nice for them two to have a little bit of bonding time one-on-one as well. So yeah, all in all, very good. George's at nursery at the moment, and I've got a couple of hours, I think, until I need to go get him, although I don't know what the time is. Yeah, just under a couple of hours before I need to go get him, so I'm just going to sort his room, put his washing away, and then, yeah, get Hallie up from her nap when she's ready. She's been down for about half an hour. She's supposed to have like a long nap today because we're trying to do the whole transition between 3 and 2 naps. Like, now she's 7 months old, which is mad. I think she's probably ready. Like, that last night nap of the day, she kind of sometimes had, sometimes didn't have anyway. And the 2 naps that she was having weren't as long, so I'm hoping that this is going to be slightly longer. But yeah, who knows. After this, I also really need to figure out what I'm going to wear into the office tomorrow, because I've got my first keeping in touch day since being on maternity leave. I'm going into London, going into the office, having my chat with my manager about like what it's going to look like when I come back to work and how, you know, that might go. So yeah, it's for me, I don't know, it's just like a big thing. And obviously leaving the kids, Ash is actually just going to take the day off work, so he's going to sort nursery run, and he's also going to look after Hallie the whole day, which is just such a massive weight off my shoulders. Like, honestly, like, we've never had that like option really. Where he was in the army, you can't just take days off in the army. It just doesn't work like that. Any other military families will know, like, basically, like, that job is your life, and you cannot really, unless it's like really dire circumstances, like a proper welfare issue, that's literally what they call it, you can't just take days off. Like, your partner's career and, like, you know, sharing the load with the kids, it's just not really a thing. Like, I mean, I could be wrong, that was just my experience, but I'm sure a lot of other military families out there will yeah, you will share that like sentiment. It kind of just wasn't a thing. So when I was going into London, I would have to sort the childcare in the morning. I would have to sort, you know, pickups, drop-offs. If they were sick, I'd have to be the person. And I know that's the case for a lot of relationships anyway. Like, it's, you know, 9 times out of 10 it's the mother. I'm not turning this into like some gender thing at all, but it just so happens that that has always been our situation as well, despite the fact that we earn the same amount of money. Like, you know, it doesn't matter. It wasn't about like who's the breadwinner, who's not. It was just generally like that was the setup because of the nature of his job. However, now he's on Civvy Street, he has the full ability to say, look, can I take a day off work so my other half can go in and, you know, have her like keep in touch day at her work, like, and it was just like yeah, he just had a 5-minute phone call and then asked the day off, and he got the day off, and it was just like not this big deal, which it has always been before, like I say. So it's, yeah, it's definitely gonna be different if I go back to work soon. It's gonna be a much different experience, much more different experience than it was when I was at work with George, like when I was solo parenting and like working in London and sorting childcare and all that kind of stuff. It will be very different. It'll be a lot more balanced. However, I did find it really hard being a working mum with 1 kid, and with 2 kids I just find like it's, yeah, it kind of boggles my mind, and it really scares me if I'm totally honest. But I know that, again, I'm not going to be alone in worrying about you know, coming off of maternity leave and going back to work and stuff. Even though like I am not actually going back to work anytime soon, I've got a lot of maternity leave. I'm going to take the full year and then add on some annual leave as well that I accrued. So, you know, like, I've got plenty of time. It's just scary. I can hear Hallie. She's only been down for like half an hour. I'm going to give it 5 minutes, and if she's still crying then I'll have to go and get her. But oh, that didn't last as long as I thought it was going to. Yeah, so she was only down for half an hour. So that's fine. It's probably going to be a free nap day today. I tried playing with her for like 20 minutes or so after she woke up, but she was just so like sad, and I think, to be honest, just wanted a bottle, even though she's not actually due a bottle for another half hour. Yeah, as soon as she woke up, she was like, I'm hungry, so yeah. There you go, babe. You can have that. She's like clinging on to my top. You can cling on, you can have it. I think, if I'm honest, I feel like this week I've been a lot more, I don't know, I've just been a lot more chilled. I've slowed down a little bit. I've, you know, not worried as much as I usually do. I basically just worry about everything, just all the time. If there's something, if I'm awake, I'm worrying about something, whether that's, you know, not having sorted the house out, if the house is a mess, if, you know, the kids aren't getting enough from me, if I haven't done enough like content or planned enough for the week, or whatever it might be. I know, and I feel like this week I'm not doing that as much, and I feel a lot better for it. Obviously, like I said, I've got this work meeting, like day, keeping in touch day, which I am worried about a little bit, but at the same time I know that in the grand scheme of things, like, it's not okay. In the grand scheme of things, it's not the end of the world. The most important thing is their health and their happiness, and mine as well, my health and my happiness, like mine and my family's. And I don't know, I feel like maybe it's quite easy to forget that sometimes. Well done, that was a good burp. And no sick. Yeah. like sometimes where I'm trying to multitask and I'm trying to get this thing done and that thing done, I can do 2 things at once and I can be really productive and blah blah blah. I don't know what it is, it's my personality or something. I just need to make sure that I do a million things a day, and it's like, no, like you don't need to. And then you enjoy the things that you actually choose to do more than if you did like a million things. Yeah, you might not be productive, but who says being productive is like the measure of how, you know, successful a day is being? Like, I think that's just been my mentality for so long, and I just don't know why. And yeah, genuinely since that like break in France and sort of just like slowing down and just not worrying about stuff all the time, yeah, I've just sort of realised that, oh wait, hold on, no, you have the choice. Like, you're on maternity leave. Like, if you do end up going out to work, yeah, you're gonna have to multitask, yeah, you're gonna have to do things, but right now I have a choice, and I have a choice to like sit down and play with the kids and leave the washing up for later because Ash is going to be back and we can share the load. But he can do bedtime and I can wash up, or vice versa. It's not just got to be this constant like hamster wheel of things, and I still don't think I've got out of that. And it's no one's fault but my own. But yeah, I definitely feel like I need to just chill. I need to just chill. But it's easier said than done sometimes, especially I know a lot of mums are like that. We just constantly feel like the pressure, and it's mainly from ourselves. Like a societal pressure, yeah, sure, but no one else is like expecting us to do all this stuff. It's this like pressure we put on ourselves. Wow, I'm getting deep in this vlog. Oh no. It's just nice when you have time to reflect, and then just a nice like little place to be in when you feel like content and happy. You laughing? Did that tickle? I don't know why, but 7 months just sounds like so much older than 6 months. Like it's closer to a year than she is a newborn, and that freaks me out. So I need to just, you're not going to be a baby forever, are you? No, you're not. Hey. Like I said, I'm in London tomorrow, so I might take my laptop on the train and I can edit a little bit on the way in and on the way back. Can't I? Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna miss you tomorrow. I'm gonna miss you. Yeah, I think I'm going to update you in the next vlog how that goes. Yeah, anyway, I think I'm going to love you and leave you, and we will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.
'Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby.